What's good, everyone? Welcome to the Pokeball YouTube channel. My name is Daniel Spielvogel, and I'm about to break down the first four matchups in the NCAA tournament bracket. That's right, we have two games on Tuesday and two games on Wednesday. I'm going to go in depth and break down each matchup and give a little prediction for each of those games. So if you've not already, here's our YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to the channel and get some good insight on this college basketball March Madness tournament. So we're gonna dive right in to our first game, which is this playing game between Wagner and Howard in the 16 seed playing game. The winner of this game will get to play North Carolina in the round of 64. So let's go dive in deeper of this matchup. So Wagner is a very good defensive team. Like I've said before, I did an analysis on their NEC championship of how good defensively they are. The offense is not very good. They only average around 63 points a game, but they only allow about 62, 63 points per game, which is top 10 in the nation. And they just held Merrimack to 47 points in the NEC championship. They actually beat the top three seeds in the NEC tournament, and all three of them were true road games. They won all three on the road. So that is very, very impressive. Melvin Council Jr. is their leading scorer, and he can have a good game. He averages around 14.5 per game. And then Howard, on the other hand, they won the MEAC tournament. They beat Norfolk. They beat Delaware State in a close one in the MEAC championship. So they're back to the NCAA tournament for the second straight year. Bryce Harris is a great player, 16 points per game. And they also have Marcus Dockery running the point, averaging about 13.5 per game. So Howard, they have a better offense for sure than Wagner does. However, here's an advantage that Wagner has. Wagner turns the ball over only 8 times a game. Howard turns it over 14.5 times per game. So Wagner's one of the best at taking care of the basketball. Howard is one of the worst at taking care of the basketball. And like I said,
shoot, I forgot to play the song.
Defense travels in this game.
We all remember.
And I gotta go with Wagner upsetting Howard in the first round playing game, and they will face North Carolina. Sorry for that audio. So I gotta go with Wagner over Howard, and I'll give a score of about maybe 66 to 62. So it's going to be a low scoring, close game, exactly how Wagner wants it in the 60s. And I got the Seahawks over the Bison. Next, we got Colorado State and Virginia. And this is a team that, this is a game that could really go either way. It depends on the pace. Because, Virginia is boring. They like to slow it down, play defense, and make it a half-court game and just grind it out. In Colorado State, they want to get up and down. They want to run. They want to shoot a lot of threes. They want to push the pace. And I feel like this is a game where Colorado State can really push the tempo. They got a bucket getter in Isaiah Stevens, a really good point guard. He's an all Mountain West selection for a reason. This guy can play. And I trust Isaiah Stevens in a close game over any of the Virginia players on their roster. Virginia, elite defensive team, top 5 in the country in points allowed. But here's a big disadvantage that they have is the free throw line. And Virginia is one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the nation. They shoot less than 65% as a team from the line, and they've missed costly opportunities in the ACC tournament. That is why they're a play-in team and not safely in the field. And Colorado State is actually a very good free throw shooting team in comparison. And they have a bucket getter in Isaiah Stevens, and they have a lot of other guys that average around 12 points per game. They have 3 other guys besides Stevens that scored at least 12 points per game, providing some balance and offensive firepower. So I'm going to go with the Colorado State Rams over Virginia in this first round play-on game. I got a score of 72 to 58. So I think they're going to beat them by double digits instead of a close game. I think Colorado State wins pretty handily. Next, we're going to go to Wednesday's games. And we got another 16-seed playing game. We got Grambling at Montana State. So Grambling, first ever NCAA tournament. Congratulations to them. and the winner of this game gets Purdue. And Purdue lost to a play-in Team 16 seed last year in FDU, so I don't know if one of these teams can beat Purdue, but I think it's going to be a fun matchup here in this first round game, a little playing game. Grambling State, great year for them. Contavious Dozier and Jermichael Moden provided a nice little backcourt, average about 25 combined points per game. And they played well against Texas Southern. They finally knocked them out. Because Texas Southern usually dominates the SWAC. And Grambling did a great job. They won the regular season last year, lost in the title game to Texas Southern. This time they got some revenge on them and beat them this year in the title game. So they get to face a Montana State team that won the Big Sky as a 5 seed. They were a Cinderella. A lot of chaos happened, especially in the quarterfinals in that Big Sky tournament, with Eastern Washington, Northern Colorado, and Weber State all losing in the quarterfinals. So it made it a little bit easier for them to advance against weaker opponents in the Big Sky conference. I gotta say, Robert Ford is a really good player for Montana State. He was the defensive player of the year in the Big Sky, and he's averaging about just under 16 points per game. They also have two other guys that also average about 13 points per game. That can provide a little bit of balance to this team. And Montana State is a significantly better shooting team than Grambling is. But I'm gonna go with Montana State in the game. I got final score of about 77-70. I think Montana State wins this game by a pretty decent margin, but it could be a closer game than expected because Grambling has nothing to lose. So I got Montana State over Grambling. And then the final playing game, we got Colorado and Boise State. This is a very interesting matchup because I think both of these teams should have been safely in the field and not in this playing game spot right here in Dayton. Colorado, very good basketball team, one of the more efficient offenses in the entire tournament field. Colorado shoots just under 50% as a team. They shoot 40% as a team from the 3-point line, which is top 5 in the country. And they also shoot 77.7% from the foul line. And they have all 5 starters averaging double figures, providing balance. KJ Simpson is an elite point guard. He's a first-team All-Pac-12 selection. 19 points per game, can really shoot the 3 ball. He actually shoots 45.7% from beyond the arc. He is a scary player. And they also have Tristan Da Silva averaging 16 a game. You add star freshman Cody Williams averaging about 13 per game. He's finally healthy, which is huge. And then you have a load inside of Eddie Lampkin. Even though he averaged about 10 points per game, he is a massive matchup problem. And he had a really good tournament last year with TCU. He had some really big games. And it will not shock me if he had a big game in this game against Boise State. Boise State had a great year. I thought they should have been safe and not be in this spot. But this is a tough draw for them because of how good Colorado is offensively and that they're finally healthy. Tyson Degar is having a great year, having about 16.5 points per game. He's a really, really solid player. And then you have Max Rice, the coach's son. He can really heat up at times and just so streaky of a shooter, but he's about 12.5 per game. And then you have 2 other guys averaging about 13 a game, which is good, providing balance. That's fine. That's great. But I feel like Colorado, I think, is more talented offensively, and Boise is 0-9 in the NCAA tournament. So I'm going to go with Colorado in this game. I think it's going to be a little bit higher scoring than expected. I got Colorado 85, Boise State 80. I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tight game. So I got Colorado advancing to the round of 64. So they would play Florida. So the Virginia-Colorado State winner, they would play Texas in the 7 versus 10 matchup there. So just stay tuned for my live full official bracket fill out on Wednesday. I'll also post my bold predictions as well on Wednesday. So this is Dan Spielvogel signing out. So let's have some fun here and have a great March Madness. So remember to fill out those brackets.